So very dominant performance from GODSENT there, and I don't think that was something that I expected at least. I thought Fnatic would have a much better time of things. Janko, what the hell happened?
I think that was GODSENT looking at their best, right? When everything is going right for them. JW was pretty dominant with the AWP, a lot of entries, a lot of high impact kills as well. pronax had a lot of good reads in that half. They were always at the right spot, in the right time, also saving their utility later on in the round. flusha with great clutch play, smart play all around. And then you have Lekro, who also had a great game on the rifle. I mean, getting a lot of kills. znajder didn't really have to do much in that game. His teammates did the brunt of the work this time around. So great to see them being able to perform so dominantly, but that's the challenge, repeating this type of a performance. Not every time, not even this dominant, but at a near high level for, you know, consistent period of time.
All right, and quickly, James, before we get into Janko's clip, of course, to me it's surprising when you've got a team with Olofmeister, Twist, and Dennis, that we don't really see the AWP at all. And is this because of a lack of structure to Fnatic at the moment, and they're just kind of winging it and just doing it on field, or because that seems surprising to me?
Yeah, it seems somewhat that way, but also I think once the score got to a certain part and they have maximum loss bonus, I think they're too. They don't want to save one round to get an AWP. Although I don't know if you agree with me, Janko, but I think some other rounds were missing as well, like where they were on the edge with like $37,000 to $4,000, and many teams I think would go for Tech9 play and go for a fast play with smokes into the A bomb site and try and use that Bedlam and Anarchy to pick up some guns and take the rounds, but we didn't see that from them. So I think there are problems beyond the AWP as well, and maybe a lack of preparation. It seemed to me.
Yeah, they did change. Both teams changed rosters recently, so it's about the amount of time they had to actually prepare for the map. But seeing as how we see Train 2 times, you would expect them to have at least something in store. And I agree, because it's pretty viable, especially on Train, to go for that Tech9 and a couple of grenade strat, because you can fairly easily get a plant at least at the outer bomb site, and with a bit of luck, flashing through the smokes, perhaps even get a couple of good kills, maybe even win the round. So probably something that they would need to work on in the future.
All right then, Janko, let's see what you have for us.
Yeah, I have a clip from the second gun round, actually.
Just don't knock over the milk, please.
Okay.
The milk.
Because, I mean, obviously fairly important round, that it is a good example of how GODSENT was able to get a good read and how their CT-sided play looked basically throughout the half. So you can see that early on, Fnatic is just spreading around, going into the default, putting that pressure towards Ivy. You have olofmeister taking control of B holes, actually being fairly aggressive, looking for a kill on flusha, wants to make his presence known, and his job is to try and force a second player to go towards that B bomb site. But as we can see, it's not something that GODSENT was actually willing to do throughout the half. They were mostly leaving flusha alone, playing very, very far back in that B bomb site. And they were saving utility throughout the half, so expecting a lot of late round executes. Even if they go B with the Molotovs and the smokes, you can clear out a lot of most of the hiding places, and there are not many of them in that B bomb site for the after-plant situation. Now you can see Fnatic slowly rotating outside for that outer split. They have about 30 seconds left. As you can see, the smokes flying through. Still, GODSENT has 4 players on that bomb site. flusha still alone. So now we can switch to the in-game view, so you can see how that execute actually looked. You can see the 2 smokes flying in, players grouping up towards ladder. So that was very important, the Molotov that Lekro threw. That buys time, actually takes time away from Fnatic, who are unable to push out ladder and mid at the same time. And you can see how he's still staying alive in the bomb site. All of GODSENT's players are still alive. And this is where he dies. And you can see that both smokes are clearing at this point. So yes, they did get the kill, but look at where Fnatic's players are. They're still very, very far away from the bomb site. The fact that the smokes cleared means that they have more angles that they need to worry about, more spots. Those smokes make it easier for them to pick their fights and overwhelm a certain player. Now, JW, who has the op very far back, actually he's in hell, but pronax also, who is towards Ivy, they have a better opportunity to engage in a fight. flusha, very, very fast on the rotate. will be also able to flash through the smoke and get 2 great kills. So now we can move back to the map, so you can see how it plays out on the minimap. What's also very important to note is that flusha throws a molly here in case of a fake. That way players need to run through it. They will take damage, but he also gets very good timing. There's basically 5 players at this point on the outer bomb side for Fnatic to deal with. flusha also throws an extra nade, flashes through, and you can see all these angles that they had to worry about when it came to that late round execute. I think znajder was in heaven as well, or around that ladder area. And that obviously makes it much more difficult for Fnatic to make their way into the bomb site, plant the bomb, and try to secure the round. So now there's, I think, the rest of the round. You can see here how flusha rotates, waits a little bit for the higher ramp on the B bomb site, and he's there just in time to help out his team and get 2 crucial kills. So great all-around play on the CT side from GODSENT. Great example of how saving utility late into the round can really make it easier for you, and also why sometimes it's very difficult to play that slow, methodical type of a style, because you could see how one Molotov basically ruined Fnatic's execute. They couldn't go out while the smokes were there. When the smokes pass, it's much harder for them to win the round.
All right, well, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
That was really cool.
Just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge how awesome that was. But yeah, GODSENT playing very well. And is this, again, as you said previously, it's about whether or not they can repeat the performance. Again, it's hard to really do a proper pre-game, as we just did so much on train. It's going to be train again. So what's the points going forwards?
But if there was one thing, I think in this matchup in particular, I wouldn't be surprised if this map Fnatic wins 16-8, right? Because if they start CT, for example, they're an extremely strong team individually. They can have a similar half as to this one, right? So yeah, it is kind of difficult seeing it happen, because GODSENT is probably, feeling very, very well about themselves right now. Just like to point out one small thing as well on their CT side. You could see that in the first gun round, Twist was able to get that kill on pronax, basically, just an entry kill on him. And immediately, GODSENT adjusted a little bit, sending JW there in the following round with the AWP. Basically, that's the best defense you can set up against someone just going for a dry contact play. So as for the next map, as I said, I think it's unpredictable to an extent, with a domestic matchup, players knowing each other very well. So I think it's going to be interesting as well. I would like to see a similar performance from GODSENT, just a repeat of it, because that was pretty awesome.
For me, I think Fnatic, the only way they can win is if they start on the CT side, which is more or less what Janko said. Awesome.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see whether or not that happens. Either way, it'll be a very exciting matchup, I'm sure. We'll see you for that after the break.